physical well-being. Yeah. Now we got some people. That guy over there with the shades on, he crazy as hell. All right? He runs 7-8 miles every day. That's just crazy. And he have y'all family members, the males, they run 3 or 4 times a week at 5 a.m.
That's right.
And she's saying that's good. Well, won't you come down here and run with the crazy man? When I talk about physical, I ain't talking about that. And that's all wonderful.
Yeah.
Please, somebody needs to do it. But physical sometimes means just taking your medicine.
Yeah.
Eating right. Don't mean you trying to lose 50 pounds and all that stuff. Just taking care of yourself.
That's right.
I went to a meeting a few weeks ago, and this guy, he had a stroke. And it took everything I could not to laugh at him. He like this. Now, that wasn't what was funny, y'all. What was funny was, he said he was going to practice the spiritual principles and not take his high blood pressure medicine and pray.
Wow.
And he said, now I know it won't work. See? Sometimes this stuff will get you in trouble. If the doctor say you got high blood pressure, take your medicine. What do you think you need to do?
Take it.
Yeah, you don't need to go into prayer. You need to take your medicine. We had a brother in the room. He been here 2 weeks. He done been to the emergency room 4 times. And then as soon as he come back, he want to cook. Because his blood pressure, his sugar level is way up. He been talking about, I can't see. You can't see because you won't eat right. The average weight gain for 4 months in this program is 45 pounds.
Oh my God.
And 45 pounds in 4 months, for some people, ain't cute.
That's right.
Us brothers can carry it, because we don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
But these sisters, attitude. See how I rolled on past that one? In order to change attitudes developed over the span of my cocaine and drug use, I would need to remember my own relapse and counter-relapse dynamics. Wow. And see, we have some attitudes that lead us into relapse.
That's right.
We have some behaviors that we'll talk about next, but we have some attitudes. Somebody tell me some attitudes. Julie, give me some attitudes. Anger. Give me another.
Frustration.
All right, so when you get anger, what is the counter relapse dynamic that you have?
Meditation and happy thoughts.
Okay. For the next one.
Patience and patience and to be content.
Okay. Somebody else.
Self-centered.
Oh, good one. So what you gonna do to stop being so self-centered?
Put out myself to help others.
How you gonna do that?
Help my neighbor.
Is he self-centered? You can help him, right? See, for whatever action we have, we got to have a counter dynamic to that to set that off. And so that's why they wrote down 10 of them. And some of them tried to act like they couldn't think of 10. I told them to call you. You know, because they're like, I don't think I can find that much wrong with me. So call somebody who knows you. Y'all can point it out. But we have some attitudes. And if we don't get that straight, y'all, we will go out and use. Because the disease is in my thinking.
That's
right.
And normally if I don't address it in the thinking process, once it gets to the behavior process, it's normally too late. So I need to attack it in the thought process. And so when my attitudes start getting off, that's when I need to do something. So this is vitally important. And family members, y'all have to learn how to address it. How do you, when he becomes self-centered, Tell me how you used to deal with it and how you gonna deal with it today. Different. When you know you can't tell him nothing, he's self-centered, he running his own thing. What did you do in the past? PG, and then well, how you gonna deal with it differently?
What I did with in the past was I just, allowed him to be that way. But now I'm gonna reach out to his sponsors and some other people to help him.
Good, good. So when Julie gets angry, how did you address it in the past? Did she throw a temper tantrum?
I get angry too.
Okay, that didn't work. So what are you going to do differently now?
Ask her why she's angry to start out with.
Okay, good, good. See, family members, you got to have a different dynamic too.
Yeah.
You can't practice the same thing that you've been practicing.
Yeah.
You know, it's not your fault that they're here,
Right.
but you are a contributor.
Yeah.
You got to find your part. Ain't your fault, but you are a contributor.
Yeah.
What did I say?
It's your fault.
God, I know y'all didn't come to hear that, but you do play a part in it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was talking to a brother the other day. He was like, man, I didn't know what to do. We're having this party, and my girl said, go to the liquor store and get the beer. He said, man, I didn't want to do it, but so I went and got it. Well, that probably wasn't the best idea.
Right.
Then he go to drinking, then you put him out, you kind of had something to do with it. But sometimes, especially us guys, that's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if we just done met you today and I tell you that I'm in recovery, then y'all say, well, if I have a glass of wine, would it bother you? Well, my ego I'm going to say, no, go on. You see what I'm saying? Now, I should say no, but a lot of times I don't. That brother should have said, being uncomfortable going to the liquor store, that no, I'm not going to do this. But that same sister would put him out if he drank. What that gummit don't be sending me to the liquor store. I believe in this. If I'm going to lose you, I'd rather lose you clean
Yeah.
than lose you out.
Yeah.
My chances of moving on are better clean.
That's right.
It's something in that. Y'all catch it later.
Yeah.
But sometimes, y'all, we got to fight, but we don't know how. We don't know how to take stands. See, because a lot of times we done so much crazy stuff that we don't think we have a voice. We think we can have to be treated any kind of way, and you get to do whatever you want to do, and I can't say nothing because of where I've been. No. That's why a lot of us have to get our own place. Sometimes we can't stay clean moving back to mama house because mama gonna treat us like we 12 and I don't want that. Sometimes we can't move back home with our wives because they can't forgive.
That's right.
And we need to prove to ourselves and them for a season that you know what? We was talking about this. Family members, one of y'all wives and girlfriends, help me with this. If he has taken the car and not come back, how long will it be before you think he should be able to drive the car? Huh? Get his own car? She ain't got to get his own car. Somebody over there must took a car. Is that you? Them your people? So how long should it be before he be able to drive the car? Okay, she said she don't know. So you know what that means? When they don't know, it means not now.
Yeah.
And so when I get home, now that brother can't drive his own car. Can he stay sober? Being treated like that is what he got to figure out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't stay clean being micromanaged like that. And it may mean that, you know what, some of us can let our woman hold all our money and hold the keys and chaperone us around like we 12. And some of us say that does more damage than it does good. Now, it don't mean that you give him the keys to the car. It don't mean that. It just means that, you know what, brother? It ain't time for you to come home. Because I don't know how not to treat you like you 12. Because let me say it this way. You got to say, I am dangerous.
Yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
And right now, I'm going to hurt you.
I'm gonna hurt you.
I don't know how not to say things. I don't know how not to do things.
Yeah.
That's why we have these family meetings and we hold y'all hostage and not let y'all see y'all family members unless you come to these meetings or go to church. Because if we just told y'all to come, y'all wouldn't come on your own.
That's right.
So we got to say, if you want to see him, you got to hear me.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
It's a hostage situation.
That's right. That's right.
But that's because that's our only way to try to get you to hear some things that's positive and to start to think about some things. Because one, wives and girlfriends, check this out. If you stay in a relationship long term, this is ugly, but it's true. That's probably not the first addict you've had.
Right. Right.
You're conditioned now. You see what I'm saying? Right. And so it's some brokenness on inside of you that makes you stay in an unhealthy situation. Now, guess what? It can work out and it becomes a blessing in the end because now y'all have a story and a testimony to help other people. But you have to understand that it's some brokenness that's in you that makes you stay.
That's right.
It just is.
And it's a program for that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you need to go. You need to go. Is something wrong with you too?
Yeah.
And the reason you with him or her, it hides what's wrong with you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Preach.
You get to say it's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
Something wrong.
No, it's something wrong with you too.
That's right.
Because you lying just as much as him. You hiding just as much as him. This disease is a disease of shame.
Yeah.
In order to change behaviors developed over a span of my cocaine and drug use, I will remember my own relapse and counter-relapse dynamics. Now, these are the behaviors. It's a saying in the room that I don't like. People, places, things. I don't like that. Tell you why I don't like it. You know who those people are.
Yeah.
You know what those things are.
Yeah.
You know what them places are. So you need to say that specifically. Not, I just need to stay away from people, places, and things. No, what people?
Yeah.
What places? You know,
Yeah.
a friend of mine got out of prison. He finna get out again. He done went back. But he called, and we grew up together. He said, I done got out, and my homeboy Watt, and my homeboy Harley, and Mark West, they were all together.
Wow.
And they said, come down here. And Tyler, I'm from Tyler, right? I said, all right, man, I'm coming in the morning.
Yeah.
And my wife over there. And just talking to them, my whole attitude had changed.
Yeah.
And she said, baby, you want me to go with you? I said, what? You don't need nobody going with me. I'm wrong. Shoot. I was there ironing my clothes, talking about I'm gonna go and do some things.
Yeah.
I turned into a whole nother person.
Yeah.
Just talk, oh, I'm gonna go. And she talked to him, I guess she prayed and figured out a way the next morning to say something. I ended up not going. You know, then I shared that. I was like, I was in relapse mode.
Yeah.
Everything had changed.
Yeah.
Wow, it was back to 1985. The old gang was going to get back together again.
Yeah.
When we were together, it wasn't no good for me.
That's right.
But I know one thing, I wasn't going to have no chaperone.
Yeah.
I was going by myself, and I was insulted that she asked. Now, if I'm going somewhere and my wife can't go, that's probably not the right place. I ought to be going, right? But y'all didn't hear that from me. Now we don't like you, sister. We don't like people who verify the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, it's
And she bold enough to repeat it. Ain't that something? Y'all shouldn't let her come. That's one thing we don't like as addicts. We don't like to be told the truth. You know that? When somebody tell the truth, I don't. Maybe I'm the only one. How many of y'all in here that just the truth kind of bothers you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Only the addicts raise their hand. I don't think we're alone, but we'll keep on moving. This is the big one right here, one of them. It says, I realize that the challenges that life presents me on a daily basis often confuse and confound me. I will deal with these challenges in the major areas of my life. And we just looked at about 7 areas where we've had problems in the past. One is work. And so they got to look at what are the problems that they had at work.
Wow.
Whether that's being on time, getting along with people, whatever that may be.
Wow.
Not the problems you had once you start using it didn't show. I'm talking about before you start using the problems you had on your job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Family. See, we have to re-enter or integrate back into a family, and that is hard.
Yeah.
The people who love you the most are the hardest people to deal with.
Yeah.
I seen a family made a sister so mad she was crying. She was hotter than fish grease just last Saturday. And they were trying to tell her something. Boy, that sister was hot. All they were trying to do is just tell her, boy, that did not go well. I went, woo! She didn't like them for, have you started liking them yet? How long did it take? How long did it take?
I started liking the same day.
Really? Okay, well, you're good. It normally takes me a little longer. But guess what, y'all? Family is hard.
Yeah.
Family is hard.
Yeah.
You know, they really, really are.
Yeah.
She ain't on the camera. Nobody knows who she is. Social. We are sociably unmanageable.
Oh, my.
And so when we get clean, why? Because we've been living an alternative lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so once we try to live normal, we don't really know how.
That's right. That's right.
And so we struggle with that.
Yeah.
I got high to become that person that I wanted to be.
Yeah. Right.
Loud as I am up here, I am a quiet and shy and socially awkward person.
That's right.
And so when I'm not standing up here,
That's right. That's right.
I'm sitting somewhere in a corner and don't want to talk. I really don't know what to say or anything like that. And people will say I'm arrogant. I'm not saying that I'm not, but most of the time they think this is me. This person, is me. And then they come and meet me and they say, hey man, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
And they like, man, he be tripping. No, dude, that wasn't me you met in the classroom. This is me. Now you want to get to know me, then that gummit, I probably ain't gonna talk to you half the time.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I want to be left alone. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
I want my wife in the house. I don't necessarily want her in the room with me talking to me. Yeah. I want you at home. We ain't gotta occupy the same room. I just want you at home.
Yeah.
Come home so I can rest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. I ain't not going now. I'm watching TV in here. I just want to know you in the high. How many of y'all brothers like me? Mel, that's for you. I ain't the only one. It's something wrong with us. I'm telling you. Look at Miss Jackson saying, really? Yeah. Yeah. And maybe it's a man thing. I don't know. I don't know.
No.
It's not?
Yeah, they all like that. They just scared to say it.
So social.
Yeah.
Financial and legal. Y'all, our credit is jacked up.
Yeah.
We got felonies. We got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And we got to take our time and try to get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I got clean, the first 5 years of my sobriety, I was on parole. And somewhere around year 2 or 3, this newfound sobriety and spirituality didn't match my situation. So I was ashamed and I felt awkward to go in there, you know, because I'm on parole, but I'm a different person. Well, I still had to go see them people,
Yeah.
or they would lock me up.
Yeah.
But I was a different person. But I had to get through that, to get off that paper. And that was difficult. And I would dress up, so when I walk in there, so I wouldn't look like the other people. They'd be like, excuse me, sir, are you one of the parole officers? No, I'm gonna come big too. But I didn't look like one. Sexual. Big one for us. We done some things, been involved in some behaviors.
Yeah.
We done acted out.
Yeah.
And this right here is connected to our users.
That's right.
And so we don't know how, when we first get clean, to have a normal relationship because this area of our life is so screwed up.
That's right.
And so we have to learn how to have a healthy relationship, and that takes a while.
Yeah.
And so this part right here, I won't go into it. But, big one. Next one. Leisure. Say what?
Right.
Really? Then, you know what? This is what you do.
I don't want to put everybody in the book.
I know. This is what you do. Don't worry about it. You trust these guys right here? Trust them that they gonna get down to the root of it. You look them in the eyes and say, did y'all make him get honest? And then you don't worry about it. Then you gotta trust them, and because all that you don't need to know.
That's right.
All right? Let me tell you this right here. This is what you say. How many of y'all in a relationship in here? Raise your hand with somebody in here. This is what you ask them. You say this right here. It's a medical van that comes every Tuesday out there. Have them to be tested.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Ask them for the result.
Yeah.
Ask them to work on, get accountability partner. Don't ask them all of the stuff that they done out there. All right?
That's right.
And neither do they need to ask you.
That's right.
I had a sister one time, it wasn't his brother's time for eligibility, but he had been doing so well, right? And I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna let you have a pass. That sister came to me, she said, Buster, don't ever do that again. She said, I got some things that ain't straight, brother.
Right.
You can't just all willy-nilly let that brother come home. I gotta straighten some stuff out.
Yeah.
And I never let that go again. That's why I posted on the board and let everybody know. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It was a week too early.
Yeah.
I didn't say that out loud. Strike that from the report. You know how they do? You know how they do in the courtroom? They say strike that from. But seriously. But guess what? And you know what she said, brothers? You know what she said to me? She said, Buster, I went to work and the brother opened the door for me.
Yeah.
And he said, you sure look nice today.
Yeah.
And then he started asking her how she was doing.
Yeah.
Then she started to share, and she was saying, well, I'm doing this, that, and I need somebody to cut my grass. And that brother started coming and cutting the grass.
That's right.
For real, true story. And it wasn't long. So brothers, tell them to video chat the thing, the grass. If the grass cut, they be in trouble. I'm just kidding. But seriously, guess what? I said that because it happens on both sides.
Yeah.
And if we're going to reconcile,
Yeah.
and seriously, we don't need to ask no questions. We need to just say, you know what, we're going to start from here.
That's right.
And neither one need to bring it up.
That's right.
It's kind of like they do with convicts. A real convicts, brother done time, they don't ask no questions.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine I used to work with, And the guy, the lady who he was dating, her husband had been in prison for about 8, 9 years. Now she done told him about this dude, right?
Right.
And when it came time for him to come home, the brother came home. They called him. And the dude said, man, I really thank you for all that you done for my girl
Wow.
and my daughter.
Wow.
You really was there for them.
Wow.
But now your services are no longer needed. True story. That brother fell off and he has not gotten clean since.
Wow.
Not handle that. That dude wasn't mad. He thanked him. He said, man, I thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You know, for what you done, but your services.
Yeah.
There's no else to come to. He like, you
Yeah.
know what? I ain't mad. I knew what you was doing. She was writing me and telling me what you were doing
Yeah.
and how you was helping pay the bills and all of that. Taking my daughter to school. I thank you.
Wow.
But as of now, don't come around here no more. Leisure time. Big one, big one. More addicts fall off, I believe, behind boredom and not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
We spend a whole bunch of time getting high. And so now we have all of this time and we don't know what to do with it.
That's right. That's right.
Some people can do nothing and be all right with it.
Yeah.
Some of y'all need to be entertained. You need to know who you are and how that works for you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm old, so I can go and sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
But again, it don't take much to entertain me. I have to remember that, dog, I'm married. I might need to take this woman somewhere or do something. Because I can just go to work, go home, go to work, go home. As long as I got the internet, TV, and some books, I'm fine. I ain't got to never go nowhere. Ever. And I don't get bored. You know, I don't. It's a good day. What you do today, Over? Nothing. And I had fun. But some people, you know, you need it. But I wasn't like that at first.
Right.
The silence and the quietness messed me up. So that's why I hung out at the meeting places and stuff like that. And I came down here a lot and hung out down here because just sitting at home bored took me out.
That's right.
Outpatient counseling. I commit myself to ongoing treatment in an outpatient setting for at least 24 more weeks.
Wow.
This will include an aftercare support group, a home AA/NA group, and possible individual counseling. I believe that everybody that has been through this trauma needs to get some professional counseling.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't think you can navigate back through this. Now, you may be all right, get home and hobble through the process, but I think you need to sit with somebody, and all the time it can't be your pastor. Because sometimes religious leaders, they know how to do a whole bunch of things. They just don't know how to help you through this trauma of addiction. You see what I'm saying? Because they say some simplistic things, give you some scriptures, and say pray about it. And sometimes you need a little bit more than that. Because you got some trauma. That's why in the DSM-5, they say now that addiction it is just like any, like bipolar and all the rest of that stuff. Because they say, y'all, but they just say it to the addict. Where I'm going is for the family too. They say it's post-traumatic stress disorder is what they call it. Like you done been to war. Well, if I'm the addict and I've been to war and I have a wife and children and they in the battle too, they done been to war too. I went over to Vietnam and they said at home, no, we all went to Vietnam. We all got post-traumatic stress disorder. That's why y'all family members go off like you got Tourette syndrome. You just find yourself, you just start cussing for no reason at all. You know, and you be like, where they come from? I told you I ain't gonna go to that no more. Mama, whoa. Because something happened. And it reminded them, and they just want, how many of y'all family know that you'll explode, there go one, there go one, there go one, there go one. Oh, there they go. Yeah, y'all need to go and see somebody. That's not real. Y'all need to go and see somebody. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, they got a program for that too, don't they?
I go to the program.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Has it helped?
It has helped tremendously.
Yeah, listen.
Yes, sir. That's my wife.
Are you happy she went?
Yeah.
See, that brother happy. That has helped them. She don't go off as much. No, and y'all need somebody to call too.
Yeah.
See, we have somebody to call. What y'all need to do is meet some of these people in this room. Guess what? This is a disease that isolates you too.
Yeah.
Because it's only like for you.